the implosion continues. McCarthy has now lost what? 11, 12 elections in a row. Also, the anniversary of the domestic act of terrorism that took place at the US Capitol. And Matt Gaetz has threatened to resign if Democrats work with Republicans. I got it all. Okay, let's do it this way. Remember the officer who died the day after that terrorist attack? That estate is now accusing Donald Trump, the former president, of murder, wrongful death. Let's highlight the ways here. Officer Brian Sicknick on the left, and the service program firm is laying to rest. The ceremony is on the right. This was back February 2021. The estate of a US Capitol police officer died a day after the January 6, 2021 terrorist attack, has now sued former President Donald Trump for wrongful death on Thursday, claiming that he incited his supporters to commit violence that day. The lawsuit was filed in the US District Court in Washington against Trump on behalf of the estate of the officer. Died at age 42 from a series of strokes, okay? Now I wanna say this, I need to submit this for the record. The right will say, no, this had nothing to do with the riot on the Capitol grounds. Let me ask you this. Do you think they would say the same if, I don't know, members of Black Lives Matter stormed the Capitol that created a cause and effect reality that led to an officer dying? Of course not. They only reserve that when the narrative fits their ultimate goal, which is division and power. That's what they like to do. There's more. A medical examiner said that the officer had not suffered any injuries during the attack on the US Capitol, where lawmakers were certifying results of the presidential election, ruling that his death was due to natural causes, but also said the violent events of January 6th likely, and I quote, played a role in his condition. His condition obviously played a role in his demise, in his death. There's more. Defendant Trump intentionally riled up the crowd and directed and encouraged a mob to attack the US Capitol and attack those who opposed them, according to the estate and the court papers. Why is this possible? Why is Trump allowed to be sued for actions he did while president of the United States? Because the federal bench, a judge, said he can be. The judge classified what Trump did as non-presidential, meaning it did not connect to the office of the presidency. He was completely out of immunity boundaries for the presidency. So it allowed for Trump to be sued in this manner. Okay, let's go to Matt Gaetz. Here it is.
Are you going to be okay, Congressman? Will you be okay then if there's ultimately a deal struck with moderate Democrats that give Democrats kind of co-control of the committees? You're fine with that?
No, absolutely not. That will not happen. There are two potential scenarios here. No, listen, I'm on the floor, Laura. These 212 Democrats are going to vote for Hakeem Jeffries every single time. He is a historic candidate for them. They are not going to cleave off under any circumstance. I assure you that if Democrats join up to elect a moderate Republican, I will resign from the House of Representatives. That is how certain I am. I can assure your viewers that won't happen.
Yep. Now it looks more appealing than ever to have Democrats and Republicans work together. This could actually end the political career of Matt Gaetz. But he's lying, even if it does happen. Even if they do coordinate efforts, Matt Gaetz isn't going anywhere soon, except hopefully to the pokey after he's indicted for trafficking an underage child. All right, so what's happening right now under the Capitol Authority? Well, it's constitutionally undefined almost. We have not had this kind of scenario where there's a lack of House leadership. You have 11 to 12 votes, still no actual leader selected. It has been well over 100 years. There's a budget that must be passed. It's called a rules packet. It must be passed by the 13th. If not, staffers don't get paid. Reimbursements of educational expenses do not get paid. A lot of good people get hurt if they don't figure this out. Matt Gaetz is the one who looks to be the most powerful United States congressman in the GOP. All right, my dear brother, thoughts here.
Matt Gaetz is the personified white entitlement that a lot of middle class, you feel me, white men are cultivated in. We see that time after time again. The way that he conducts himself in politics kind of exemplifies that. The word I'm thinking of when you were speaking is culpability, and how much culpability is always had in terms of different individuals, i.e. you being seen as an accessory to a crime, or the culpability of you being able to say, nah, it had nothing to do with me, and deniable plausibility. You and I know that if you had some homeboys that got indicted for a whole bunch of things in this day and time, that would call your character into question. We know that, right? But somehow for Matt Gaetz and for Donald Trump, they can have all their boys get caught up in all type of indictments and all go to jail for different things, and culpability by the wayside. Crazy to me.
Very well said, and I completely concur.